Lesson 1.5, Operations with Rational Exponents and Radicals. To add or subtract radicals, they must have the same root and same. So take a look at problem number 1. Notice they all have a radicand of 48 and a root of 4. So all we need to do on this problem is combine the numbers out front. 4 plus 3, take away 2. Then you need to do a p factor on your calculator and expand out the 48. With the root of 4, we're looking for 4 of a kind. We have 4 2's. When we bring out a 2, we multiply it times the 5. Problem number 2, we've only got 2 of them that have the same root with the same radicand. So we're going to combine those together. Now we need to expand out our 64 using math p factor. 4th root means we look for 4 of a kind. We're going to bring out a 2 and multiply it times the 2 that's already out front. We can't go any further because they don't have the same radicand. To multiply or divide, radicals are the easiest when they have the same root. We're going to say outside times outside and radicand times radicand. So in this problem, they have the same root, so we can multiply these together. 4 times 2 gives us 8, and 8 times 48 is 384. Don't forget that it's still a 5th root. Now do a math p factor to factor out that 384. We're looking for 5 of a kind. We definitely have 5 2's that we can bring out. But when we circle that as a group, bring it out to the 8, we multiply it times the 2. The ones that get left behind get multiplied back together. So we're left with 16 5th root of 12. Problem number 4, they both have a square root, so we're going to multiply those radicands together. Now do a p factor and expand out your 20 and your p to the 5th and circle anything you have 2 of a kind. So since it's a square root, I have 2 2's, I have 2 sets of p. So when I bring this out, it becomes p squared, and these get left behind, so they stay under the radical. This one both have cube roots. It has the old-fashioned division bar. So now simplify inside the fraction first. 40 over 5 is 8. So now I need to take the cube root of 8. So I do a p factor, and I see that I get a 2, because it's 2 times 2 times 2. For this one, we're going to multiply outside times outside, and inside times inside. Now we're going to do a p factor and expand the 24 and the 6 to see if there's anything that I can bring out. So I can see here when I expand the 24, I have a set of 2's that come out. When I bring out a 2, I have to multiply it times the 4. So 2 times 4 gives me 8. These two are going to get multiplied back together. So then I'd be left with. So now I have 2 radicals that have the same radicand. So I can combine these numbers out front, and I get negative 20. So this one, it goes back to our rules of exponents. They have the same base, so all I need to do is add these exponents. Using your TI-36X Pro, it's very easy to do this. When I add them, the 36X Pro will go ahead and simplify it into a 2. These have the same bases, so we're going to subtract our exponents. Now I need to rewrite this. 27 to the 1/3 power can be written. Remember, superpower, roots in the ground. So that's really a cube root. Now expand the 27 and take 3 of a kind out. Problem number 9. This 1/3 power goes to both my numerator and my denominator. So let's hand that out to both of them. Now I need to rewrite it. Superpower, roots in the ground. So it's really just a cube root of 8 over a cube root of 27. If you expand this out and expand this one out, I would have 3 of a kind for my 2's and 3 of a kind for my 3's. So the answer is 2/3. To multiply or divide radicals when they have different roots, you must rewrite it with rational exponents and then follow your exponent rules. You should try one of these 3 things if you ever get stuck. Try to use one of the exponent rules that we talked about in an earlier lesson. Rewrite it, and try to do a p factor and simplify your radical if possible. So at first this problem is intimidating. Some of you may want to quit or give up. But you've got to take a little bit of it at a time. So let's start with this first part. Let's take care of this 3. Everybody inside this parentheses gets the 3. So power to a power, we multiply. Power to a power, you multiply. This one we expanded and we had 4 x's and we circled one group. So this is all we have left. We're almost there. So now we've got bases that are the same with an understood 1. So we add. So our answer is x to the 10th y. Problem number 11. Another intimidating problem. Let's first rewrite this. Superpower, roots in the ground. So it would look like this. See my superpower roots in the ground? Understood down here is a 1. What's the rule here when you're dividing? Subtraction. So 1/4 minus 1, or 4/4, would leave us with 3/4. Problem number 12. Again, a very intimidating problem to begin with, but you need to do it in small pieces, or even cover up part of the problem and see if you can do the first part. This 1/2 goes to both of these in the first parentheses. We're going to multiply because it's power to a power. So 1/2 of 6 and 1/2 of 8. And over here, we're going to extend this out, and that means that there would be 6 y's. 6 y's means I would circle group of 3, group of 3, no leftovers. Now I've got bases that are the same with multiplication, so I need to add my exponents. And there we are. Problem number 13, another very intimidating problem. I don't have any roots that are the same, so I can't combine anything. So I need to think of another strategy. The next strategy is to rewrite. Superpower, roots in the ground. Superpower, roots in the ground. So rewrite these. All right, now we've rewritten them. What can we do? Well, up top we're multiplying. So what's the rule with multiplying? What do we do with these exponents? We add. So use your calculator. 1/4 plus 1/6. All right, very intimidating problem, but what's the simple rule when you're dividing? What do we do with our exponents? We subtract. And on this time, we have more exponents up top. So use your calculator to say 5/12 minus 1/3. And there, we're done. Now, a lot of these problems are very intimidating. So just this once, or for now in this unit, I'm going to give you a break and not give you a skills check. I'll see you in class with tons of questions and be ready to practice.